So hello boys and girls, this is once again your educator Anup Kumar Singh, and today I welcome you all on video learning session. This is a kind of a small information about me. I have done MSc Biotech, and if you have any query, any doubts, you can simply mail me up, you can simply message me. A UPSC and the civil service aspirant, clear pre 2017 and WBCS 2017 as well. And teaching and learning is my passion. This is my personal WhatsApp number. If you have any query, you can simply message me. Now, without using a single second, let's start the class 8, the second part of our social and political life constitution. So let's start today's session. So in our previous class, I have completed about that what are the different kinds of government, right? That is, we have also learned that how the constitution is framed, what is constituent assembly. Now in today's session हम लोग जानेंगे कि features of Indian constitution, हमारे जो constitution से कुछ क्या क्या features है, what are the other salient features, and in this session we will finish all those, and after that only one topic will be left, that is the fundamental rights. It is a very very important, that's why I thought that उसको हम लोग अलग से करेंगे, एक अलग वीडियो सेशन बना के. तो चलिए आज जानते हैं. So we have seen that how our constitution is framed, what is constitution, what is the difference between the states and the nation, and moving forward we will learn that what is the feature of our Indian constitution. So what are the some of the, here are the some features of the Indian constitution, like federalism or federal system. Now what is federalism or what is federal system? Now this refers to the, look here at my cursor, that this refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. In India, we have government at the state level and at the center. Panchayati Raj, or it is also known as the local government. Panchayati Raj is the third tier of government, and you have read about this in your class 6 book. So what is federalism, what is federal system? इसका मतलब ये होता है, this refers to the existence of more than one level of the government in the country. For an example, we in our India we have a different levels of the government. One government is having a power in the national level, that is or at the center level or the union level, right? And similarly we have the different state level. For an example, in the state level, we in the Bihar we have a state government of Nitish Kumar. In Gujarat we have a state government of that BJP government. Again in Maharashtra we have the state government of the Shiv Sena, and at the center we have the majority, that is the BJP government is having the power. So federal system क्या होगा, where the power is distributed among the different levels of the government. that is जैसे कि मैंने बताया, as we all know that we have the government at the state level and at the center, and the panchayati raj is in the tier of government, and we have the third level of the government is the panchayati raj. It means here the power is distributed, एक power center के हाथ में और the union of states के हाथ में. यानी union of states means at the central level, right, at the national level. And similarly one government, one power lies in the hands of the state level, and also we have the last level, that is the local government, that is the panchayati raj. Now what is the need, why they need that in India there should be the federal system or there should be the federalism government? क्यों ऐसा महसूस हुआ कि यहाँ पे फेडरल सिस्टम होना चाहिए, फेडरलिज्म होना चाहिए? इसका द मेन रीजन था, द मेकर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन थॉट that this system would suit our country, because our country has so many communities, each with its own aspiration and needs. Thus, we have a central government which looks the matter of national importance, and a state government which take care of the needs of the states. It means that when our constitution was being framed, the makers of the constitution thought that it is very very necessary to have the federalism, or we have the federal, or to need the federal system, because we know that our country is a diversity. We have a different cultures, different languages, people having the different lifestyle. It means we have a different community. So और सबकी अपनी अपनी aspirations है, सबकी अपनी अपनी इच्छाएं हैं. They have their own needs, they have their own aspiration, they have their own expectations. So it is a very very different to fulfill each of their so it is very very you can say impossible to fulfill their aspiration and needs without knowing them. For this purpose we have the federalism of or the फेडरल सिस्टम, ताकि एक सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो और इसी वजह से हमारा पास वी हैव द main power at the central level, and we also have the different power or the state power in the state level, ताकि state के जो लोग हैं एक राज्य के, suppose we have the in the state of Delhi, they have some different interest, they have some different expectations from their government, तो वो उनकी जो पूरी कौन करेगा, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में करेगा. बट इफ दे वांट समथिंग which needs to be changed in the entire country, so where they will go, they will directly go to the central government or the national government, right? So it means हर किसी के ख्वाहिशों को पूरा करने के लिए, ज़रूरतों को पूरा करने के लिए, we have the federal system, because we have the different communities, we have the different language, we have the different customs. That's why we have the federal system, that is the divisions of powers, right? So I hope this is understood to all of you. Now let's move forward. The constitution list in the area which only the union government can make law is known as the union list. The areas in which the state government can make law is known as the state list. Now what is this? What is union list and the state list? For an example, we have a let us try to understand with the example of GST, goods and service tax. Now this GST is applicable in each of the in mostly in entire state, चाहे वो बंगाल हो, बिहार हो, उड़ीसा हो, महाराष्ट्र हो, कोई भी स्टेट हो, right? It means this law is passed by the central government or by the union government. So it means ऐसे जो कानून होंगे जो यूनियन गवर्नमेंट और द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट द्वारा बन के आएंगे, we will preserve them, we will keep them in the union list, and the areas in which the state government can make law, it is known as the state list. For an example, in Bengal, the alcohol is not prohibited, alcohol is free, you can consume the alcohol. But if you consume the alcohol in the state of Bihar, it is a criminal offense. It means एक स्टेट का अपना नियम है, आप यहाँ पे ड्रिंक कर सकते हो, बट इफ यू गो इन द बिहार यू कैन नॉट ड्रिंक, आप वहाँ पे ड्रिंक नहीं कर सकते. क्यों? क्योंकि उसने अपने लिए अलग तौर तरीके और कानून बनाए हैं. तो यानी जो स्टेट्स अपने लिए law frame करेंगी, if they will frame the law, if they will make a new constitution, make a new law, that will be preserved or keep in the state list, and where the union government make the law, it is known as the union list. और जहाँ पे state government make the law for the beneficial of its state, it is known as the state list, right? And the areas in which both the union and state government can make law, it is known as the concurrent list. If you prepare for the UPSC and PCS, I will explain about this, don't worry, in the higher class, and maybe I will make the video if you are interested. So and the area in which the union and state government can make the law for the entire community, for the entire nation, it is known as the concurrent list. यानी कुछ ऐसे law होंगे जो state government के लिए भी होंगे, साथ साथ union as a whole कंट्री के लिए भी होंगे. उस लॉ को हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, या फिर वो कानून कहाँ रखे जाएंगे, कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट के श्रेणी में, कैटेगरी में, राइट? Now, under federalism, the states are not merely agents of the federal government but draw their authority from the constitution as well. Try to understand this sentence, this point, that under federalism, it means under the federal system of government, the states are not merely agents of the federal government but draw their authority from the constitution as well. It means suppose if the union government passed the law, they have to obey it, they have to accept it, but also if they don't want, they can they can draw their own authority, they can withdraw their own power from the constitution as well. For an example, कुछ suppose union government makes some law that everyone should wear the blue color t-shirt, but it is not going to accept by the people of Odisha. So it means क्या वो उनको मानना पड़ेगा? It depends upon them whether they are agree or not agree. So if they are not agree, what they will do, they will make their own constitution, they will make their own law, they make their own they make their own new system by the means of constitution, because the constitution gave them the authority to make such decisions. It is not necessary that the federalism system में अगर गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ दे दिया, यूनियन गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ दे दिया, तो आपको मानना होगा, but generally it is supposed to obey that, and it is accepted if it is in the favor of the state and welfare of the people. Now all persons in India are governed by law and policies made by each of these levels of गवर्नमेंट, राइट? इट इज वेरी वेरी क्लियर दैट चाहे वो कोई भी इंसान हो, नेता हो, अभिनेता हो, लीडर हो, राइट, जमींदार हो, हुएवर इट इज, फार्मर हो, they are supposed to obey, they are supposed to accept, they are supposed to I mean give their nod the law and the policies which are framed by the each level of the government, चाहे वो state level हो, union level हो, or maybe the panchayat level हो, कोई भी level हो, if once the law is passed or law is framed whether by the union government or by the state government, it should be accepted. That's why see the alcohol is banned in the Bihar, right? I hope this thing is this up to this it is understood to all of you. Now moving forward, let's try to let's go in the next slide. So now let's see the levels of government and their functions, right? Let's see the levels of the government and their function. This chart is not given in your book, but I have prepared my notes. From there I have just pasted it. I have scanned it and pasted it. So this chart will give you the detailed information about the levels of government, that is the union government and the state government, and the third tier of the government, that is the local government. Within the local government we have read in the class 6, right, that rural में पंचायती राज होता है, अर्बन में शहरी इलाके म्यूनिसिपलिटीज होते हैं, पंचायत में हमारे जिला पंचायत होते हैं, म्यूनिसिपल और दैट इज द म्यूनिसिपलिटीज यानी शहरी इलाके में म्यूनिसिपल काउंसिल होते हैं, कॉर्पोरेशंस होते हैं, राइट. तो यूनियन गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड गवर्नमेंट गवर्नेंस ऑफ होल कंट्री, एज आई सेड, right, it in their responsibility to look after the whole country. Like nowadays the lockdown is there, right? So Modi has announced that from the, I think in the month of March there would be the lockdown for the 21 days. Now although it is passed from the union government, that's why it is acceptable, it is accepted to the whole states because it is directly passed from the union government. Now the state government responsible, where it is, yeah, responsible for administration and governance of state. It means state government is supposed to look the welfare, look the administration within the states, and the union and in the local government, right, जिला पंचायत के अंदर ये सारी चीजें आ जाएंगे. So if you just look under this, if you just look this entire chart, it will give you the clear uh, uh, you know mm, picture of the entire levels of the government. That's why I have pasted it and that's why I have put this over here. So I hope this is understood. आप लोग इसको एक बार देख लेना, right? If you need any information I will tell you, because in Panchayati Raj you have read in the class 6, right? Block level executive organ, this is known to you. What is Gram Sabha, what is municipal corporation, this is already explained quite nicely in your previous books. Here we are not supposed to read the different levels of the government, only we are supposed to know their types. That's why I have make you understand about the different types, and for a better clarification I have pasted this chart. So now let's move towards the next slide. Now first features we have learned, that is the levels of government, that is the federalism and the federal. Now the second thing, that is the parliamentary form of government. What is parliamentary form of government? Let's deal with this. Now Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for all citizens. This means that the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective of her social background, can also contest in elections. These representatives are accountable to the people. In our parliament, okay, up to this let me try to explain. What is parliamentary form of government? Parliamentary form of government, it means there should be the parliament. I will teach you about the parliament in our next in class 8, also in our next chapter, in our further chapter it is to totally explain and given about the parliament. So right now I'm just try to understand that parliamentary form of government, it means there shall be the parliament, वहाँ पे parliament होनी चाहिए. parliamentary form of government में क्या क्या importance है, what are their importance? It means हमारे जो constitution it guarantees the universal adult suffrage. You are reading this from 6-7, right? आप लोग universally adult franchise, universally adult suffrage you are reading. It means it gives us the right to vote, right to use our voting power, right to select our leaders. So वो हमें कहाँ से मिलता है? वो हमें मिलता है from the constitution. That's why I have written that guarantees universally adult suffrage for all citizens. This means that the people of India have a direct role in selecting their representatives. It means we have the power, we have the authority to select our leaders, to select our representatives who will talk on our behalf, who will put our problems on our behalf in the parliament. संसद में जाके, parliament में जाके हमारे problems को, आपकी प्लान्स को, राइट, आपके रिक्वेस्ट को दे विल पुट फॉरवर्ड. और वो कहाँ से चुन के आएंगे? वो जमीन से या आसमान से टपक के नहीं आएंगे, राइट. they will going to be elect by us because we have the power. What are those power? That is the universally adult suffrage or universally adult franchise. Also we have the power that every citizen of the country, irrespective of his her social gender, social background, can contest in elections. It means the constitution also gives us the right that if me, you, your father, your mother, anyone, right, if he or she is the citizen of the country, citizen of the India, then he or she can contest in the elections, and they will also fought in the they will also fight in the elections, and these representatives are accountable to the people, of course, if to whom we elect, to whom we sent in the parliament. Those peoples are responsible to for our questions, for our demands, right, and they are accountable to answer those demands, to answer those questions, right. They have to answer, because this is the importance of our constitution. Under which column? Under the parliamentary form of government. I hope this understood. Now last point, it is just a kind of information that in our form of parliamentary democracy, the head of the state is president. Look, here I am using the state, it means the nation, right. The head of the state is president, and the head of the state, that is president, is different from the head of the government, that is the prime minister, because the prime minister is the head of the government. Why? Because the prime minister is directly elected by the common people of 130 130 crores people of India. प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी है, वो किसके द्वारा चुन के आए गए? वो चुन के आए गए हैं हमारे द्वारा, बट वी डोंट हैव द पावर टू सिलेक्ट द प्रेसिडेंट, है ना. सो दैट्स वाई द हेड ऑफ द स्टेट इज president. And who is the head of the government? The head of the government is the prime minister, because he or she is elected by us, right. So this is another type of features of our constitution, that is the parliamentary form of government. Now let's move forward. The third thing is the separation of powers. What? The separation of powers. Now, what is separation of power? Now, according to the constitution, there are three organs of the state. We have the four organs, or we have the four pillars. The fourth one is just emerged up, and we have accepted it. But basically, we accepted the three organs or the three pillars. The three organs or the three pillars of the democracy of the state. What are those? These are the legislature, the executive, and the जुडिशरी. लेजिस्लेचर का मतलब हो गया विधायिका, एक्सिक्यूटिव बोले तो कार्यपालिका, एंड जुडिशरी इज द न्यायपालिका, राइट. सो यहाँ पे क्या है? हियर द पावर इज सेपरेटेड, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज नोन एज द सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर. इट मींस वी हैव द थ्री ऑर्गन्स, वी हैव द थ्री पिलर्स, दैट इज द लेजिस्लेचर, एक्सिक्यूटिव, एंड द judiciary, and among these the power is distributed. It means all have the different powers, all have the powers, the rights to exercise their to exercise their powers, to use their authority. Whenever I say about the legislature, what is legislature? It means the legislature refers to our elected representatives. Legislatures कौन होंगे? legislature हो गए the one who sorry, the one who frame the law, the one who makes the law. And who makes the law? Who frames the law? The parliament. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. क्योंकि पार्लियामेंट में कौन बैठते हैं? पार्लियामेंट में वो जाके बैठते हैं, वो क्वेश्चन करते हैं, वो आपके डिमांड्स रेज करते हैं, जिसको आप चुनते हैं, जो कौन होते हैं? आपके representatives, right. So the legislature refers to our elected representatives. Legislature has the power, has the authority to frame the law, to make the new law. Who are executive? The executive is a small group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the गवर्नमेंट. एग्जीक्यूटिव कौन हो गया? कार्यपालिका. लेजिस्लेचर क्या होगा? लेजिस्लेचर करेगा, कानून बनाएगा, है ना. वो कानून, विधायक, या फिर आप बोल सकते हो कुछ प्रकार का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अमेंड करने का पावर, उसको बनाने का पावर किसके हाथ में है? वो है लेजिस्लेचर के हाथ में, जो हमारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स है उनके हाथ में, यानी कि पार्लियामेंट के हाथ में. एग्जीक्यूटिव कौन हो गया? एग्जीक्यूटिव वो हो गया कि कानून तो बन गया, अब उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने वाला भी तो चाहिए. हु आर दोज? वो इम्प्लीमेंट कौन करेंगे? वो करेंगे हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव. एग्जीक्यूटिव में कौन कौन आ गए? द मिनिस्टर्स, द इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर, द कैग हेड, द हेड ऑफ द कैग, राइट, द IPS officers who are executive, the DMs, these are the executives. It means once the law is passed, once the legislature framed the law, now it lies in the hands of the executive to implement those law. That's why I said that the executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. Now what is judiciary? Judiciary जैसे मैंने बोला न्यायपालिका. So here I have just try to give you a I'm just going to give you a small information. Later you will learn that the judiciary, of which you will read more in chapter 4 of this book, refers to the system of courts in the country. See, we have to know about judiciary in our chapter 4. That's why I have just tried to give you a short information. Judiciary directly deals with the courts. We have the different level of courts, है ना? High court, supreme court, आप लोगों ने नाम सुना होगा. For an example, supreme court has given the judgment, and just one day ago, that is on today's 27th, on yesterday 26th, by the order of the supreme court, the Ram Mandir is started. The construction of Ram Mandir is started. Why? Because the Supreme Court has given the decision, has given the verdict. यानी जुडिशरी कौन हो गए? जो हमारे कोर्ट्स वाले हो गए, यानी जो हमारे अदालतें हो गई, जो हमारे देश की अदालत हो गई, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? न्यायपालिका. और वो पावर किसके हाथ में? वो पावर है सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोर्ट के हाथ में. सो व्हाट आर द सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर? एक पावर किसके हाथ में? एक पावर है लेजिस्लेचर के हाथ में, जो कानून बनाएगा, जो लॉ फ्रेम करेगा. दूसरा है एग्जीक्यूटिव के हाथ में, जो क्या करेगा? जो who will just implement the law. And who are the last one? That is the most important one. That is the judiciary, who will see, who will safeguard the any kind of law, or who will save the rights of the humans if it is getting violated. Now the power of the state are thus divided in such a way among three organs as to provide a system of check and balances to prevent misuse of power by any organ. Why these power are separated? Because these power are separated to check and balance. यानी आप चेक, ताकि एक दूसरे को चेक कर पाए, बैलेंस कर पाए, कि कोई अपने पावर का मिसयूज ना करे. However, I just want to share you one external information. Just see here, this judiciary have the power, this judiciary have the authority, and it is independent to all of those, that is the executive and legislative. यानी जुडिशरी इज इंडिपेंडेंट टू ऑल ऑफ दोज. इसके पास हक है वो कि वो किसी के भी पावर में, सुनो, इट मीन्स दिस जुडिशरी हैज द अथॉरिटी टू इंटरप्रेट in the working style of legislature or the executive. यानी अगर if the executive and legislature is not doing any kind of their job well, or they are not performing well, then judiciary is independent of all of this, and it have the power to raise the question. और पावर ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर के कहने का मतलब यही है कि तीनों के पास अलग अलग पावर होंगे, तीनों अपना काम देखेंगे. अगर कोई काम नहीं देख रहा है, देन all these have the authority to check and to ask the question, and among these the judiciary is independent of all. Now what is fundamental rights? These are the important topics, right? So I will just complete these fundamental rights in our in our next topic, because it is very very important. So this is the last topic of today's session. So what is fundamental rights? Try to understand. मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, and what are the different type of fundamental rights, I will explain in the next session. The section on fundamental rights has often been referred as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. It is a very very important, right? The section on fundamental rights has often been referred as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. यानी fundamental rights को क्या बोला गया? हाँ, बोला गया Indian Constitution ये conscience यानी मूल जड़ें हैं, है ना, बेसिक चीजें हैं, जिसके बिना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन शायद इमेजिन भी नहीं किया जा सकता. तो ये क्यों फंडामेंटल राइट जरूरी क्यों था? जरूरी इसलिए था बिकॉज द कॉलोनियल रूल हैड क्रिएटेड अ सर्टेन सस्पिशन ऑफ द स्टेट इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द नेशनलिस्ट, राइट? जो ब्रिटिशर्स थे वो अपने तौर तरीके, अपने उनके पॉलिसीज कुछ ऐसे थे कि वो यहाँ के नेशनलिस्ट को ना उलझा के रख दिए थे कि क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, व्हाट टू डू, व्हाट टू नॉट, राइट, which thing we should obey, which thing we should disobey. So in order to safeguard this, in order to give us the equal and natural rights to each and every one, the fundamental right that demand is felt, right? और इसी वजह से fundamental rights लाया गया. They wanted to ensure that a set of retained rights would guard against the misuse of state power in independent India. It means अगर suppose we once, अगर उनका मानना था कि अगर भारत स्वतंत्र हो जाए, if we get independent, if you get independence, so there should be the one law, there should be one strong law, there should be one rights which will going to safeguard our common man, which will going to safeguard our common people of India irrespective of their caste culture. चाहे वो कोई भी हो, राजा का बेटा हो, रंग का बेटा हो, नेता हो, अभिनेता हो, लीडर हो, कोई भी, whoever it is, if their right is violated, then चाहे वो किसी के द्वारा भी, whether it is by the law, चाहे by any persons, if their demand, if their right is getting violated, or if their right is getting snatched by some other people, तो ऐसे हालात में उसको बचाने के लिए, उसको रोकने के लिए और हर किसी को एहसास दिलाया जाए कि वो फ्री है और उनके पास हक है, इक्वल है, ऐसा कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट होना चाहिए जो एक इंडियन को इंडियन फील कराए। उसके लिए जरूरी क्या था? वी हैव टू, एंड देन फॉर दैट वी इट इज वेरी वेरी नेसेसरी टू frame some basic rights, to frame some strong rights which is known as the fundamental rights. Now what are the important of fundamental rights? Let's see. The fundamental rights therefore protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. The constitution thus guarantees the rights of individual against the state as well as other individuals. Right? Sorry, this is nothing, so just ignore it. What I said, fundamental rights protect the citizens arbitrary, यानी कुछ गलत हो रहा है आपके साथ, कोई आपके साथ क्रूरता व्यवहार कर रहा है, आपके हकों को छीन रहा है, आपको दबा रहा है, शोषण कर रहा है, चाहे वो नेशनल लेवल पे हो, स्टेट लेवल पे हो, या फिर आपका पड़ोसी ही क्यों ना हो, कोई भी क्यों ना हो, if they are just violating. For an example, it article 21 gives you the right to life, जीने का अधिकार, right to liberty, आज़ादी के साथ जीने का अधिकार. You are free to wear different color t-shirts, you are free to wear different color jeans, right? You are free to do the dance, you are free to do the see the video. But if somebody is prohibiting you, right, if somebody is if your neighbor is prohibiting you, if your neighbor is raising a voice that no, you can't see such kind of dance, you can't wear this kind of jeans, it means he or she is just violating the your fundamental rights. It means he or she is trying to oppress you, आपको दबाने की कोशिश कर रहा है. On that condition what we will do? On that condition you will raise your voice and you will say कि नहीं, this is my right because the constitution of India has given me the fundamental rights. So there are some fundamental rights we will learn on the next chapter. So these are the importance and these are the things why fundamental right is necessary, and they are known as the conscience of the Indian constitution. So what are those fundamental rights? We will read on the next chapter. I hope up to this it is clear to all of you. So this is once again your educator Anup Kumar Singh. I am binding up. So have a nice weekend, have a nice day, and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much. So this is our end of our session. So let's bye.